Welcome parents and students to another homework lesson. This is Unit 1, Lesson 8, and we're multiplying and dividing with 9. So parents, please drill your students on their 9s math facts, the 9 multiplication. I had them copy down this little chart, and I showed them, all these patterns that we have when we multiply by 9. Notice how these are the answers, this is the product. The ones go down starting at 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And on the 10s, it goes the other way, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And when you multiply by 9, the other factor, for example, 9 times 2, you look at this factor, and then your product begins with one number less than that factor. So if you're multiplying 9 by 2, your answer starts with a 1 because it's one number less than the other factor. And then if you notice, all of these products, when you multiply the two digits, they equal 9. So 0 plus 9 is 9. 1 plus 8 is 9. 2 plus 7 is 9. So if you know that this product starts with a 1, how many more do you need to make 9? 8 more. When you multiply by 3, your product begins with 1 less than a 3, which is 2. How many more do you need to make 9? 7. When you multiply 9 by 4, your product begins with a 3. How many more do you need to make 9? You need 6. So when you multiply 9 by 5, your product starts with a 4, and you need 5 more, and so on. So please drill them. They should just know it fluently without using fingers and all that stuff. Just look at the fact family. 9, 3, 9, 27 go together, and that helps you also with the division. If you see that 54 divided by 9, the missing number is 6. Let's do number 2. We did 1 in class. George told 2 stories each night, so each tells us to multiply or divide. George told 2 stories each night of the camping trip. The camping trip was 3 nights long. Underline the question, how many stories did George tell? And you can imply in all, which says to multiply in all. So it's 2 stories each of 3 nights. So 3 groups of 2. So the correct way to write that equation would be 3 nights or 3 groups of 2. And 2 is the size of the group. 3 is the number of groups. So 3 times 2 is 6. And how many stories? We box that. That tells us that's the label. 6 stories. And again, if they were to show their work, it's an equal groups or equal shares drawing. We don't know the total. The total is in the box here, it's blank. And then there's 3 nights, so 3 groups. You can make little lines connecting to the total. And there's 2 stories in each of the nights. So 2, 4, 6, the total is 6. So it's 3 groups, and there's 2 in each. All right, Lashana blew up 40 balloons for a party. She made 10 equal, we know that equal usually has to do with division. She made 10 equal bunches of balloons to put on the tables. Underline the question. How many balloons were in each bunch? We can box that. That's going to be our label. So we're starting with a big total, and we're dividing it up into 10 equal groups, 10 equal bunches. So in our drawing here, we know what the total is. It's 40, and it's going to be 10. I'm not going to have room to draw it all. We're going to have 10 bunches. So they're asking you how many are in each. So it's a division. Each means multiply or divide. And when the answer is going to be smaller than what we started with, it's going to be division. So it's 40 divided into 10 equal bunches. 40 divided by 10 equals 4. 4 what? 4 balloons. And does that make sense? Is there going to be 4 balloons in each bunch? That's a reasonable answer, yes. Now, if you accidentally multiplied 40 times 10, that would be 400. Does that make sense? There's 400 balloons in each bunch? No, actually, if you're trying to hold 400 balloons in your hand, you'd probably float away. So that's not a reasonable answer, but this one is. There are 4 floors in Redville City Hall. Every floor has 9 offices. Question, how many offices are in the building? We're going to use this as our label. So I know it's multiplication because there's 4 groups of 9. And it's kind of like an array. There's 4 floors, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's 9 offices in each floor, counting the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 4 rows or 4 floors, and there's 9 in each. So it's 4, the rows times the number in each row, or the floors with the number of offices in each row. It's 4 times 9. There we get to finally practice our 9s. So it's 4 groups of 9 equals, remember, if you're multiplying by 4, it starts with a 3. How many more do you need to make a 9? 6. And then offices is our label. Bridget has 15 CDs. Remember those? She can put 5 CDs in the CD player at one time. How many times does she have to change the CD to listen to all of them? So kids might need to know what, I don't know if you need to know what that CD is. So you have 15, you have a total. So it's 15 divided by 5. How many 5s are there in 15? You can count on your fingers. 5, 10, 15. There's 3 5s in 15. So 3 times. All right, thank you very much. The back side, we did most of these. 5 times 5 is 25. 15 divided by 5 is 3. A garden has 2 rows of tomato plants. Each tells us to multiply or divide. Row tells us it's an array. So it's going to be 2 rows, 1, 2, 2 rows of tomato plants. Each row has 8 tomatoes. So count the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 rows of 8. So it's 2 times 8. 2 rows of 8. And you can just finish it up and you count them. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. The answer is 16. Underline the question, box the label, tomato plants, 2 rows of 8 equals 16 tomato plants. 7 children each show 5 fingers. How many fingers are being shown? So 7 groups, or 7 children, 7 groups of 5 equals And then just count by 5 7 times. Put up 7 fingers. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 35 fingers. All right, I think that's good. We did this one in class. Stretch your thinking, do your best, and we'll see you tomorrow.